Thomas, aka PinguNSE. I am here at Southeast, and if you are a long-time SER player like me, then you would know that this station here is what Woodhead Lane used to be based off of. And it was at that station in SER where I did my QD training about 5 years ago, and well, in that time a lot has happened, especially in the past year, which was quite a rollercoaster of a year, both for myself and on YouTube. Like, I believe the year started off with all these YouTubers quitting, and then at the end of the year we somehow got Nicocado Avocado committing like the biggest improvement without anyone knowing. But today we're just going to be talking about how the year was for me, and more specifically this channel, but also a bit of me personally. So, as you may know, in the past video, the year started off with me going up to Milton Keynes, getting the yard, and then magically bringing it home completely safe and dry with the absolutely awful weather. If you want to check that video out, check the top right of the screen, and you might know how at the end of that video I said I went on a trip up north not long after that. And well, I don't want to give too much information, as I do plan on getting the video of that trip out very soon, but let me tell you, it was quite an interesting trip, having Avanti be Avanti as usual, and I went to see some peps, so you know, overall pretty good trip, I can say so myself. That wasn't the only trip I did through the year, as I went up to the north a couple more times throughout the year. One such time was in April, where I brought with me a new camera, which is recording the video you're watching right now. But it was also a year where I made quite a few friends, and the most interesting part about it is that I got to meet quite a few people that I've only really known on the SER Discord server, so you know, pretty cool year. Started off quite interestingly with me finding out that there was someone on the SER who went to the exact same university as me. Like, I wasn't just not expecting that, you know? You know, it was just like quite a simple thing, like, and I believe that basically set me up to go throughout the year, as many other times throughout the year I slowly, gradually meet more and more people from SER. Like, a couple of those times were on my other trips up to the north, so I guess that's just a thing that just kind of happened, I guess. And I think it like just helped me like just be more confident in myself. Like, if it wasn't for any of that, I probably would be here speaking to you on this video as well. That's on one of those times I met a friend from SER. Yeah, I don't know how or why, but just helped me figure out that, hang on, the reason why I'm not wanting to record my voice in these videos is because I feel like people will just think I'm weird. When in reality, no one actually cares, to be honest. It's just, people just couldn't care less if you're just sitting around talking about trains, or as I'm here right now talking about some silly little Roblox game. But you might be wondering, but you found out that this is what was holding you back, why did you still not record your voice? And like, to be completely honest, I still felt the same. It's only just really like this year where I found the time and like just a random burst of confidence to just try and get things done. I mean, as you saw, or rather heard, with the my previous video, I actually just spoke about a time where I just went around and just explored like London or whatever. And well, I suppose that's more or less what I just have planned for this year, is just to lock in, as the younger ones would say. I probably made 20 people cringe by saying that, but I really need to just get the confidence to just basically just be myself, really. I was able to do it all last year, but it really basically how I got to meet all these like people. And like, it's just a really great year, to be honest. I mean, sure, there was a few times where I felt a bit down on myself and just feeling like things weren't just going exactly as well as I thought they would, but I made it through. We're here in 2025. As I said at the start of the video, like 5 years really since I did my first SER training, and here I am, a supervisor of my own, doing the trainings. So I suppose things have just generally started turning for the better the past couple of years, and if all goes well, all goes to plan, I think this might be the best year of the decade that I've had so far. Albeit with the very fun fact that 10 years ago, 2015, I created this YouTube channel just to make a comment on an annoying orange video of all things, and here I am like 10 years later actually making videos of my own. I mean, I still watch stuff more than I make stuff, to be honest. I'm not that good of a creative person up here in my head for videos, I suppose, but it doesn't mean I still don't have ideas for things. if you are in the SCR Discord server, or maybe even that Discord server for like that Roblox group I made for my train game, you might know that very recently, like at the very end of 2025, last year, at the very end of last year, I finally got trains moving. So alongside getting videos back in the works, just properly working on things, you might also finally see the release of that game I've been working on for quite a few years. Although that does lead me to bring up some recent events in SCR, like at the end of the year. As you may all know, there's that they added a game pass for local trains, and like I'm going to be honest, I think both sides have a point. Like the developers do have a point that like the cost of effectively £10 is somewhat worth it, considering you get a whole bunch of different trains, even if all but one of them you need to have a base train in order to unlock. But I do agree with like the community saying that it's not really worth it if you're just getting a 390. Like the class 390 in Trains in World 5 is only a 5 or more, and yet it's just way more detailed. I mean, yeah, Dovetail Games does have its fair share of criticism for a whole lot of DLCs and being expensive in general, but it is a bit surprising to see SCR starting to do the same. I mean, if it's really that they need money, surely they could just fix the merch store, maybe even make some new merch. Like, here's an idea, like a waterline t-shirt. I'm sure someone would want to buy that for like 10 quid, I don't know. And then there's like the whole issues with the community department as a whole, or rather just how it's being led by the directors. And I'm going to be completely honest, I'm just not really going to comment on it. I'm just going to sit here, leave it be dealt with in due time as well. Things are quite heated at the moment, let's say, and unfortunately that does kind of make me feel like SCR is on its last few years of just being around in a popular game. Like the Longer Trains Game Pass combined with the apparent comeback of Metro, which I'm going to be completely honest, why on earth did they get rid of like the Class 465 and the Class 508 because they weren't going to do third rail, and here they are bringing a Class 777. Like, I mean, to be fair, it should be expected from SCR at this point that they don't exactly listen to what they said. Like, they said the James Street extension would be the very last one in the game and got really late in 2.0. Although I will say it's somewhat worth it because we got semaphore signals, which are very fun to mess around with. And yeah, like, I will get that SCR 2.0 review uploaded soon, I promise. But back to like the whole like SCR potentially dying thing, it's just like it's pretty much clear that they are starting to be desperate to try and maintain their player base, especially with games like British Railway coming in, like pumping out quality updates every now and again. It just feels like it's just a time to start thinking about what I will be doing in the events that... Dang it! So as I was saying, with games like British Railway just producing quality updates, and with SCR still with the promise of a pantograph update, and yet here they are adding further rails they said they weren't going to do. But yeah, it's just, I feel like it's sort of a time where I should start thinking of what I'll be basically doing in the events that SCR does die off in popularity in the next few years as well. For a game that I've been playing for like pretty much about a quarter of my life now, it is sad to think that it will one day just basically just be like a ghost game, pretty much abandoned with everyone just moved on to the newer offerings on the platform. Like, especially with like the game I'm making, like in a way, I do have plans for it to have some elements of SCR, which I mean isn't really helping my own point. Like, I think I did a preview of pantograph functionality in my own game. Like, people were saying, wow, like, you made pantographs before SCR can, but like, making a game from scratch is very easy to add a whole bunch of features. I mean, look at British Railway, it's a completely brand new game. They've got working pantographs, they've got, like, basically just old sorts of power modes sorted out, really. And very recently they added, like, a whole new tap changer control for, things like the Class 87 or something. With my game as well, which is the reason why I was able to get pantographs right is because I'm building it from scratch. I mean, sure, it's been in the works for a few years, but Ash was just trying to get trains moving, and like, that's why I finally got working. So really, it's a case of just getting things all working together. I mean, if you've been looking at the SER creation channel, you might see that I've hooked up GUI working, like the actual controls to make it move, and I'm starting to work on the doors, maybe like testing whether it will start next week, really. Yeah, as I was saying about like things being made from scratch being easy to work on, like on my own game, like at one point I decided to upgrade the track models because they looked a bit basic, and they were like some random free model that just didn't work so well, I suppose. And I found it very easy to replace all the tracks. It's only like 3 stations. I mean, still a bit of track I still need to replace, but it's just so little that needs to be replaced. It's just like the point I'm trying to make here is that like people like SER mess tracks when let's face it, like the game has like many stations, so many, like it has literally miles of track that they'll need to like replace all over time. Though it does make me wonder. They planned to mesh the tracks ages ago, but then they did the Leighton West extension upgrade, they did the whole airport zone upgrade and James Street extension, and then they recently, well, not recently, it was like several months ago, they released the Radio Bay extension. Now, every single time it was just the same old track model that they've used. Like, surely they could have used any of those updates as an opportunity, like especially 2.0, as an opportunity to match the tracks. So yeah, basically 2024 had some good moments, had some bad moments, both in my personal life, on YouTube, and like, even on SER. Like just before SER 2.0, we had the unfortunate loss of the driver manager Steve_Sama. I apologise if I got that completely wrong. Honestly, like one of the nicest managers that the community has had, and it's just a real shame that he's no longer with us anymore. I know this like statement is going to sound aged like milk in a way of sorts, considering the ongoing community issues I mentioned earlier, but it was nice to see that the statue was made to commemorate him in the game. I think it was like the last real-time community, like the community department, or rather like the developers even as a whole, just like really cared about the community behind the game, to the point where they made such a kind gesture. Yeah, it's just a real shame that recently there's the whole mess with the Longer Trains Game Pass Metro coming back, and even worse, like the most recent situation regarding the community director. But as I said earlier, I'm just not going to really get involved that much. So yeah, well, as for 2025, the year ahead of us, I don't really have any new goals. It's just more of just really just continue what I was doing last year. I mean, I've already made a start on that. As of the time this video goes out, like a week ago, I don't actually remember, I went up with like another friend of sorts from SER, and well, as with this video and the previous one, starting to get to work on voice content. I mean, in fact, I do actually have some like big idea. I don't know if I'll actually be able to work on it this year, but if I can, it might be like around summertime, really. No guarantees though, but it is quite a big idea, and I mean, I know I say this like almost every year, but it's just going to be like a new kind of content, really. Well, not new in the sense of it's completely new to the platform. It is inspired by a few other kinds of videos, but it is new to the channel, and well, there's not really much else I can say, to be honest, other than goodbye, and I'll see you in the next video, I suppose, and I hope that 2025 is going to be a great year for us all.
Hello there, editing Pingu here, and well, turns out silly me decided to forget to mention a few things, first of which being that, you know that username I created and used on Roblox about a year ago now, Pepe the Pingu, that is going to be my main username now, pretty much. This does not mean the channel is going to be changing names again, however, it will remain as PinguNSE, and well, this also comes with the news that I finally have a website. I mean, it's a bit basic right now, but you can take a look at it with the link in the description. Also, while I did discuss a bit about thinking about what I'd do if SCR was to slowly die out, this does not mean I'll be resigning anytime soon. As well, like, the game still has quite a bit of time left ahead of it, and I still like doing what I do, so safe to say I'll be still around for quite a bit. And for obvious reasons I won't be discussing the Metro leaks, but all I'll say is that it's quite funny how they happened right after I recorded the main bit of this video and talked about how silly it would be to have third rail in the game, and well, it's funny to think that I kind of went against that and it led me to making this just as a joke. I hope that it's not real, but we'll just have to wait and see when Metro gets added to basically know anything for sure. And that's basically it for this announcement. On screen are some general statistics of how the channel has been throughout the year, and I'd like to thank all the Pingu peeps who supported the channel throughout the year. You can support the channel too for £1.99 a month. It's completely optional though, of course.